The stars stretched endlessly outside the ship's viewport, tiny points of light against the black. The human vessel Aurora glided silently, its hull shining faintly from the distant suns. Captain Lena Merrick stood at the bridge, her eyes scanning the calm emptiness ahead. Routine patrols were supposed to be boring, but the crew knew better than to trust the quiet of space. Something was coming. Suddenly, the alert lights flashed red. The control panel hummed urgently. "Unknown ships approaching fast," said Lieutenant Rio, his fingers dancing across the console. Lena leaned forward. The radar showed sleek, angular silhouettes, far too advanced for any peaceful travelers. "Prepare for communication," Lena ordered, her voice steady but tight. The ships were human-sized but alien, their designs sharp and unfamiliar. She tried to signal them. There was no reply. The crew held their breath. The first shot hit without warning. The bridge shook violently. Warning klaxons screamed. Sparks flew from the control panels. Lena gritted her teeth. Shields up. Evasive maneuvers. The ship lurched as the Aurora dodged the alien fire. It was chaos. Crew members shouted orders, engines roared, and the alien ships circled like predators. "They're not asking for surrender," Rio said, eyes wide. Lena's stomach sank. No one expected this. Diplomacy had failed before the first word was spoken. The aliens moved with frightening precision. Every shot counted. Hull plating scorched. Crew members were thrown from their stations as the ship shook. Lena gripped the edge of the command chair. She realized something terrifying. They expected humans to surrender, to give up easily. But humans never surrendered. The Aurora fired back, laser beams cutting through the darkness, bouncing off alien shields. The battle was uneven, terrifying, but Lena noticed something strange. The aliens hesitated when her crew fired back. They weren't used to resistance. Humanity's unpredictability was its strength, and Lena knew it. "Keep firing. Don't let them think we're weak," she yelled. Around her, the crew fought with everything they had. Sparks, smoke, and the smell of burning metal filled the bridge. The ship's AI tried to calculate odds, but the humans ignored probability. They acted with courage and desperation. Minutes passed, though it felt like hours. One alien ship came too close, and Lena saw the opportunity. She gave a sharp command, and a perfectly timed volley struck the alien vessel. It exploded in a burst of light, spinning into the void. The bridge erupted with cheers, but Lena didn't smile. She knew this was only the beginning. The remaining aliens regrouped. Their movements became cautious, almost confused. Humans were fighting back in ways they couldn't predict. Lena could see fear in their sensors. They had expected surrender, but humanity had delivered something they hadn't counted on: unpredictable resistance. "Captain," Rio said, "they're pulling back for now." Lena nodded, eyes scanning the radar. The enemy ships disappeared into the distance, leaving the Aurora battered but alive. The crew breathed, exhaustion mixed with triumph. Still, Lena knew this encounter would not be the last. Something larger was out there, waiting, watching. And humanity had just made its first mark. Not as victims, not as prey, but as fighters. As the ship drifted in the quiet aftermath, Lena whispered to herself, "They'll never forget this day." The stars outside seemed a little brighter, almost alive. And far away, hidden in the shadows, something was moving. Something that would remember the humans who refused to surrender. The Aurora drifted silently through space, its hull scarred and smoking. The crew worked tirelessly, patching damage and running system checks. Captain Lena Merrick walked the corridors, her mind racing. The attack had been sudden, brutal, but the humans had survived. Still, survival brought no comfort. Somewhere out there, the aliens were regrouping. They would return, and they would not forgive defiance. In the engineering bay, sparks flew as Chief Engineer Sora ran diagnostics. "Hull breaches are minor," she said, her hands moving quickly over the controls. "Shields are stable. Engines at 80% efficiency. Lena nodded. Good work. Prepare for immediate departure if they come back. The crew's nerves were frayed. Soldiers kept watch, eyes glued to the radar, scanning every blip. Even the ship's AI seemed tense, its usual calm voice slightly sharper than normal. Unknown ship activity detected in the sector, it reported. Lena clenched her fists. The aliens were near. Too near. Suddenly, a new signal appeared on the radar. Lena leaned in, frowning. The ships weren't approaching head-on. They were surrounding the Aurora, invisible until the last moment. They're trying to trap us, Rio said, his voice low. Lena's heart pounded. The humans had survived once, but now, escape would be harder. The bridge erupted with activity. Warnings flashed, alarms screamed, and the crew scrambled. Lena gave orders, her voice steady but firm. Shields at maximum. Prepare countermeasures. Keep moving. The Aurora shifted through space like a dancer, dodging the invisible snare. Time slowed. Every crew member felt it, the quiet before the storm. And then, it came. From the shadows of space, alien ships appeared like phantoms. Their weapons glowed, ready to strike. Lena gritted her teeth. The aliens expected fear. Instead, they found defiance. The first shot hit the hull, sending a jolt through the ship. Lena held her ground. Return fire. The crew responded with precision. Every laser bolt was a message. Humans fought back, and they fought hard. Suddenly, a massive alien vessel appeared at the edge of the battle. Lena recognized it from the last encounter. It was bigger, more menacing, with weapons capable of obliterating the Aurora in seconds. That's their command ship, Rio whispered. Lena's eyes narrowed. Then we hit it first. Distract them, make them vulnerable. The crew executed a risky maneuver. They darted between asteroids, weaving unpredictably. Alien sensors struggled to track them. Lena's plan was dangerous, but humans thrived on danger. She remembered the first attack, the fear, the chaos, and turned it into strategy. Minutes passed in a blur of light and motion. The command ship fired massive beams, tearing through space. The Aurora shook violently. Sparks and smoke filled the bridge. Yet, Lena's crew held firm, refusing to falter. They had survived once, and they would survive again. In the chaos, Rio spotted an opening. Captain, there. Weak point in their formation. Lena acted instantly. All fire concentrated there. Now. Lasers streaked across space, striking the command ship. A series of explosions rocked the alien vessel, sending smaller ships scattering. For a moment, silence fell. The humans had struck a blow, but Lena knew it was only temporary. The aliens would return, stronger and more furious. Survival was no longer enough. They had to fight smart, and they had to fight together. As the crew patched minor damage and tended to the injured, Lena gazed out at the stars. Each one seemed to pulse with a hidden threat, a reminder that space was alive and hostile. But she also saw something else. Possibility. Humanity had survived the impossible before. And as long as the Aurora flew, they would continue to survive. Captain, Sora said, approaching carefully, we need to talk about strategy. They'll be back, and next time, they won't hold back. Lena nodded. Then we won't either. Prepare the crew. Train harder. Make every second count. We're not just surviving, we're fighting back. Outside, the alien ships faded into the darkness. But Lena knew their silence was only temporary. Somewhere out there, enemies were plotting, waiting for the perfect moment. And when that moment came, humanity would be ready. The Aurora moved forward, battered but unbroken. The stars stretched endlessly ahead, full of danger, full of unknowns. And Captain Lena Merrick smiled faintly. Humanity had survived today. Tomorrow they would strike back, and the universe would remember. The Aurora floated through space, its hull still marked from the last battle. Captain Lena Merrick stood on the bridge, eyes fixed on the stars. The attack had come from nowhere, leaving them shaken but alive. Now, silence pressed against them, thick and heavy. It was the quiet before the storm. "Captain, sensors detect alien activity nearby," Rio said. His voice carried tension, but also excitement. Lena turned sharply. "How close?" she asked. "Far enough that we're safe for now, but close enough that they can strike again any time," Rio replied. Lena's jaw tightened. They could rest for only a moment. The humans had survived twice, but they couldn't afford a third surprise. Sora, the engineer, appeared from the lower decks. "Captain, we need to consider offensive measures. We can't just wait for them to attack again. We need to strike first." Lena nodded. "Prepare weapons and shields. We'll scout ahead carefully. We need information." The crew moved quickly, their fear replaced by determination. They had learned that humans were unpredictable, and that unpredictability could be a weapon. The Aurora's engines hummed as it slipped through the dark void, searching for the enemy. After several tense hours, they found something. A small alien scouting ship floated near an asteroid field. Its weapons were offline, and its shields flickered. Lena's eyes narrowed. "We need to capture it. Carefully. We need answers." Rio operated the controls, guiding the Aurora closer. "Captain, it's risky. If they detect us, we're dead," he warned. Lena's hand rested on the console. "We don't have a choice. If we wait, they will attack first. We strike now, and we learn." The crew held their breath as the Aurora approached. Lena gave the signal, and a net of energy beams trapped the alien ship. Sparks flew across its hull, but it remained intact. Boarding drones were sent in, and soon, a small team floated through the void to the alien vessel. Inside, the team moved silently. The ship was dark and cold, but functioning just enough to survive. Strange symbols lined the walls, glowing faintly. They reached the control room, and Rio interfaced with the alien systems. Lines of data scrolled rapidly across his screen. Lena peered over his shoulder. "They're not just attacking randomly," Rio said. "They're tracking something. A human signal, maybe our fleet, or something else. And it's huge. Something bigger than just this ship." Lena frowned. "We need to know more. Can we decode it?" Rio nodded. "I'll try. But we may only get part of the picture." Time was short. Suddenly, an alert flashed. "Incoming fleet." The aliens had called for reinforcements, sensing their scouting ship was compromised. "Return immediately," Lena shouted. The human team raced back to the Aurora, dodging laser fire from the approaching ships. The Aurora leapt forward, engines screaming, leaving the smaller alien vessels behind. Hull groaned under the stress, but the humans were alive. Back on the bridge, Lena stared at the data Rio had recovered. Strange coordinates, alien symbols, and something else, a warning. The alien fleet was not just hunting them, it was following orders from a higher command, something larger than the Aurora could face alone. Lena's mind raced. "We need allies. Or we need a plan so dangerous, they'll never see it coming." She paced the bridge. "We've survived twice by being unpredictable. Next time, we must be smarter, faster, and braver than ever." Rio looked uneasy. "Captain, the alien signal mentions a weapon. Something that could destroy entire systems. If they activate it." His words hung in the air. Lena clenched her fists. Fear was natural. But humans did not freeze in fear. Humans fought. Sora came forward. "Captain, our shields and weapons are ready. The crew is prepared. We can face them, if we work together." Lena nodded. Her eyes swept across the tired but determined faces of her crew. "Then that's what we'll do. We fight, we survive, and we make them regret underestimating humanity." The stars stretched endlessly outside the viewport, hiding dangers and secrets alike. Lena knew the alien fleet would return, stronger and more ruthless. But she also knew this, Humans never surrendered, never gave up, and never allowed fear to control them. The universe would soon witness the power of that truth. A distant flash lit the darkness. It was a signal, alien ships, returning. The battle was far from over. Lena took a deep breath. "Prepare for combat," she said quietly. "And prepare to be remembered." The Aurora's engines roared as it raced through space. Captain Lena Merrick stood at the bridge, staring at the stars that seemed darker than usual. The alien fleet was returning, bigger and more organized. This time, there would be no surprises, except from humans. "Captain," Rio said, pointing at the radar. "They're surrounding us. 3 waves. Each larger than the last." Lena's jaw tightened. "Shields at maximum. All weapons ready. Evade when necessary, but don't run. We fight smart." The crew moved with precision, each one knowing the stakes. The Aurora twisted and turned through space like a living creature. Missiles streaked past, laser beams cut through the void, and the hull shivered with each near hit. Lena's hands gripped the console tightly. Survival depended on focus, and she had it. A massive alien cruiser appeared ahead, blocking their path. Its weapons glowed with deadly energy. "It's the command ship," Rio whispered. Lena nodded. "Then we make it our target. Concentrate fire. Distract them, and hit where it hurts." The first wave of alien ships attacked. The Aurora dodged with skill, the crew firing back whenever possible. Each laser struck with precision. The humans were small, but their movements were unpredictable. The aliens hesitated, struggling to adjust. Sora, the engineer, shouted from below. "Captain, we can boost the engines for a short burst. Enough to break their formation." Lena made a decision instantly. "Do it. Timing is critical." The ship surged forward with a powerful jolt, dodging several attacks at once. The alien ships struggled to follow, giving the Aurora an opening. Rio guided the weapons, targeting command ship weak points. Lasers and missiles struck in unison. Explosions rocked the alien vessel, sending smaller ships spinning into the void. The humans cheered, but Lena knew it wasn't over. The fleet was still vast, and the aliens had more tricks to play. Suddenly, the Aurora shuddered violently. A massive beam struck the ship from the side. Hull plating melted, alarms blared, and smoke filled the bridge. Lena yelled, "Damage control! Patch the breaches! Keep us alive!" The crew worked like a single unit, racing against time. Sparks flew, lights flickered, but no one panicked. Humans thrived under pressure. They were unpredictable. They were dangerous. The alien fleet was learning that lesson the hard way. As the battle raged, Lena noticed something unusual. A pattern in the aliens' attack, an opening in their formation. "Rio, concentrate all fire there." The bridge erupted with coordinated energy beams. The command ship rocked violently, explosions cascading across its hull. Smaller alien ships retreated. For a brief moment, silence returned. The Aurora floated, damaged but unbroken. Lena allowed herself a small breath. The humans had survived another wave, and they had sent a clear message: humanity would not surrender. But the data recovered from the captured scout ship still weighed on her mind. The aliens were not acting alone. They were following orders from something larger, something capable of destroying entire systems. Lena knew the real battle was far from over. "Captain," Rio said, pointing at a blinking signal on the radar. "The larger weapon. It's activating. We can't ignore it." Lena's eyes narrowed. "Then we stop it. No matter what it takes." Sora worked quickly, her fingers flying across the controls. Shields were reinforced, weapons charged, and evasive protocols ready. The crew was tense but focused. Humans had survived impossible odds before. This was no different. Outside, the alien fleet began to regroup, preparing for another assault. Lena stood at the bridge, her gaze unwavering. "Prepare for the final wave," she said. And remember, humans don't surrender. We fight. We survive. And we make our mark on the universe. A shadow passed over the Aurora. It was larger than any ship they had faced before. Lena's stomach tightened. The true enemy had arrived. The stakes were higher than ever, and humanity's survival hung by a thread. The bridge fell silent for a moment. Every crew member knew what was coming. The aliens would not stop. But neither would the humans. Lena whispered to herself, "We've faced worse. And we'll face this too. Let them come." The stars outside seemed to close in, as if holding their breath. The Aurora moved forward, damaged but defiant, into the unknown. And far away, the alien weapon glowed, waiting to test the courage of those who dared oppose it. The Aurora drifted in the black emptiness of space, hull battered, systems strained. Captain Lena Merrick stood at the bridge, staring at the glowing silhouette of the alien weapon far ahead. It was massive, unlike anything humans had seen before. Its core pulsed with energy, like a heartbeat counting down to destruction. "They're preparing to fire," Rio said, voice tight. "If it goes off, entire systems will be gone." Lena's eyes narrowed. "Then we stop it. No hesitation." Sora's fingers flew across the controls. Shields were reinforced, weapons charged, engines pushed beyond limits. The Aurora was damaged but capable of one final, daring strike. Lena turned to her crew. "This is our chance. We either take the risk, or humanity pays the price. We fight, and we win." The human crew worked in perfect harmony, each movement precise, each decision critical. The Aurora raced forward, weaving through debris and avoiding smaller alien escorts. Laser fire streaked past, but Lena kept her focus on the massive weapon ahead. "Target weak points in the core," Lena ordered. "Rio, focus all energy beams there. Sora, prepare an overload on our main cannon." We hit it at once. The bridge filled with tension. Every second counted. As the Aurora closed in, the alien fleet fired relentlessly. Beams tore past the hull, sparks flew, and the ship shook violently. Crew members held their stations, refusing to panic. Humans thrived under impossible odds. They adapted, they resisted, and they fought back. The weapon loomed closer. Lena could feel the heat of its energy pulses even from a distance. Its shields were strong, but Rio spotted a pattern. "Captain, a small gap on the left side of the core. If we concentrate there, we can breach it." Lena gave the command. The Aurora veered sharply, dodging fire while aligning weapons. Laser beams streaked forward, striking the weak point. The alien weapon shuddered. Sparks and energy arcs danced across its surface. But it wasn't enough. It was still alive, still dangerous. "Main cannon now," Lena shouted. Sora activated the overload. A beam of pure energy shot forward from the Aurora, hitting the weapon's core with unrelenting force. Explosions rippled outward. The alien ship trembled violently, smaller ships scattering in panic. For a heartbeat, silence reigned. Then the weapon emitted a blinding flash. The Aurora shuddered, shields straining, alarms screaming. Lena gritted her teeth. "Hold steady. We're not done yet." Rio smiled grimly. "Captain, it's cracking. The core is unstable." Lena's eyes gleamed with determination. "Then we finish it. Full power, direct hit." The crew focused every available system on one final strike. Energy beams, missiles, and the cannon's overload converged on the alien weapon's heart. The ship exploded in a brilliant burst of light, sending fragments spinning into the void. The alien fleet recoiled, confused and shaken. The Aurora floated, damaged but alive. Smoke and sparks filled the bridge, but the crew cheered, exhaustion mixed with triumph. Lena looked out at the void. Humanity had survived another impossible challenge, and had struck back harder than the aliens expected. But Lena knew the battle wasn't truly over. The weapon was gone, but the alien fleet remained. And somewhere, a larger command was watching, planning its next move. Humanity had won a victory, but the war was far from finished. Sora approached Lena, wiping sweat from her brow. "Captain, we did it. The weapon is destroyed." Lena nodded, her gaze still fixed on the stars. "Yes, but we can't stop now. They'll come back, stronger and smarter. We have to be ready." Rio turned to the bridge crew. "We've shown them humans aren't weak. We've shown them what we can do. But they'll learn from this, and we have to be better than they expect next time." Lena took a deep breath. "And we will. This is only the beginning. Humanity fights. Humanity survives. And humanity will never surrender." Outside, the stars stretched endlessly, a battlefield filled with danger, mystery, and opportunity. The Aurora moved forward, battered but unbroken, carrying humans who refused to give in. And somewhere in the dark, the alien command took note. Humanity had left a mark, one that could not be erased. The bridge fell silent, tension giving way to cautious relief. But the crew knew the universe was far from safe. They had survived the impossible once more, but the story was not finished. Far beyond the stars, threats lingered, waiting for the next encounter. And when it came, humanity would be ready. The Aurora drifted through the aftermath of the destroyed alien weapon. Stars shimmered silently outside, but the quiet was deceptive. Captain Lena Merrick knew the aliens were far from defeated. Somewhere, a larger command waited, calculating their next move. Humanity had won a battle, but not the war. "Captain," Rio said from the bridge, pointing at the radar. "Multiple signals detected. Small ships, but they're moving strategically, not randomly. They're regrouping for something bigger." Lena's jaw tightened. "Then we prepare. Shields full, weapons ready. We can't let them catch us off guard again." The crew moved with precision, repairing minor damage and restoring systems. Sora worked tirelessly, her fingers flying over consoles. "Hull is stable, engines at 90%, she reported. "We're ready, Captain, but we need a plan. They won't just attack the same way again." Lena nodded, pacing the bridge. "We have to make them think we're vulnerable. Lure them into a trap. Humans fight best when they control the battlefield, not when they're cornered." Hours passed as the Aurora maneuvered through asteroid fields, using debris as cover. The alien scouts followed, careful but curious. Lena watched them closely. Every movement mattered. Every decision counted. Humans were unpredictable, and she intended to use that to their advantage. Suddenly, the radar flared. "Command vessel detected, Captain," Rio said, voice tense. Lena turned, eyes narrowing. It was massive, larger than anything they had seen, bristling with weapons. Its energy signature pulsed ominously. The alien command had arrived. Lena's hands gripped the console. "We can't outrun it. We have to face it, and hit it where it hurts." She turned to Sora and Rio. "Prepare the crew for boarding operations. If we can disable the command systems, we can turn the battle in our favor." The Aurora darted forward, dodging massive energy blasts that scorched the void. The alien command ship fired relentlessly, but Lena's crew held firm. Humans had survived impossible odds before. They could do it again. Small attack craft launched from the Aurora, piloted by soldiers and engineers alike. They raced toward the alien command ship, weaving between laser fire. The humans entered the enemy vessel, moving stealthily through dark corridors. Every step was tense. Every moment could be their last. Inside, the alien crew was organized but wary. They had underestimated humans before. Now, humans were inside their ship, disabling weapons, hacking systems, and sowing chaos. Lena's plan was working, but she knew it was only temporary. The command ship's core pulsed, ready to retaliate. On the bridge of the Aurora, Lena coordinated the strike. "Keep them distracted. Focus on their power core. We need it offline." Rio nodded, guiding the boarding teams with precision. Sora monitored the Aurora's systems, keeping the ship stable under heavy fire. Explosions rocked the alien ship as humans sabotaged critical systems. Lights flickered, weapons went offline, and chaos spread. The command ship reeled under the unexpected attack. For the first time, the aliens felt fear. Humans were not just surviving, they were controlling the fight. Suddenly, alarms blared. The command ship activated a hidden defense system, trapping the boarding teams. Lena's heart raced. Rio, Sora, get them out. Full shields, evasive maneuvers. The Aurora shuddered as it pulled the teams back, narrowly avoiding destruction. The crew returned, battered but alive. Lena looked at the alien command ship. It was wounded, but not finished. Still, they had proved something important. Humans were clever, brave, and relentless. They would not surrender. Rio approached Lena. Captain, we delayed them. We hurt them. That counts. Lena nodded, her eyes fixed on the stars. It counts. But the real test is coming. They will retaliate, harder than before. And we must be ready. Outside, the alien command ship retreated, limping but dangerous. The Aurora followed cautiously, shields bristling, crew alert. Lena knew the final confrontation was near. Humanity had survived 6 battles, faced unimaginable danger, and yet they endured. She turned to her crew, her voice steady but firm. We've done more than survive. We've shown them that humanity is unpredictable, fearless, and unstoppable. But the war isn't over. The final battle is coming. And we will be ready. The stars stretched endlessly ahead, silent witnesses to the struggle. The Aurora moved forward, carrying humans who refused to surrender, who fought against impossible odds, and who would shape the fate of the universe. Somewhere, the alien command watched and planned, but they would learn that humans were never easy prey. The Aurora drifted through space, battered but alive. Captain Lena Merrick stood at the bridge, her eyes fixed on the alien command ship ahead. This was it, the final confrontation. The enemy was large, powerful, and relentless. But humans had survived impossible odds before. This time, they would not only survive, they would triumph. Captain, Rio said, pointing at the radar. The alien fleet is regrouping. They're preparing a full-scale attack. This is their final strike. Lena's jaw tightened. Then we make it their last mistake. Shields full, weapons charged. We end this today. The crew worked quickly, repairing minor damage, checking systems, and readying every weapon. Sora monitored the engines, her fingers flying across the controls. All systems ready, Captain. We can give them everything we've got. Lena nodded, her gaze steely. Good. Let's remind them why humans never surrender. The alien fleet advanced, weapons blazing. The void erupted with light and energy. The Aurora weaved through the onslaught, dodging beams and missiles. Each crew member fought with precision and courage, their movements unpredictable, their determination unbreakable. Target the command ship. Lena ordered. Concentrate all fire. Focus on the core. The bridge crew responded instantly. Lasers, missiles, and the main cannon fired in unison. The alien command ship shuddered under the assault, smaller ships scattering in confusion. Suddenly, the alien ship fired a massive energy beam. The Aurora shook violently, alarms screaming, sparks flying across the bridge. Lena gritted her teeth. Evasive maneuvers. Full shields. We hold them off. The crew worked seamlessly, dodging and returning fire. Humans had survived worse, and they would survive this. Rio spotted a weakness. Captain. Their left flank, near the core. It's exposed. Lena's eyes narrowed. Then we hit it. All energy, all weapons, now. The Aurora surged forward, concentrating every attack on the exposed point. The command ship trembled violently, shields flickering. Sora activated the overload cannon. Energy surged across the bridge, coalescing into a single, devastating beam. It struck the alien core directly. The command ship exploded in a brilliant flash of light, sending fragments spinning into the void. The remaining alien fleet, leaderless and confused, scattered into the darkness. For a heartbeat, silence fell. The Aurora floated, damaged but alive. Smoke and sparks filled the bridge, but the crew cheered. Humanity had won. The alien threat was broken. Captain Lena Merrick looked out at the stars, her heart pounding with relief and pride. But victory came at a cost. The Aurora was battered, systems strained, and some crew members were injured. Lena moved among them, offering words of encouragement and gratitude. "We survived because we fought together," she said. "Every one of you was brave. Humanity will remember this." Rio smiled, exhaustion on his face. "We did it, Captain. We actually did it." Lena nodded, her eyes scanning the void. "Yes. But remember, this is just the beginning. Space is vast, and humans will face many challenges. But they will survive. They will fight. And they will never surrender." Outside, the stars stretched endlessly, a canvas of infinite possibility. Humanity had left its mark, proving that even against impossible odds, courage, intelligence, and unity could prevail. The Aurora moved forward, carrying humans who were stronger, braver, and more determined than ever before. Somewhere far away, the remnants of the alien fleet watched in silence. They had underestimated humans at every turn. They had expected surrender and weakness. Instead, they found resistance, strategy, and unyielding courage. Humanity had proven itself, and the universe would never forget. Lena stood at the bridge one last time, looking at the stars. The battles had been won, but the future remained uncertain. "We survived," she whispered. "And as long as we do, humanity will never be defeated. Never." The Aurora turned toward the unknown, engines humming, crew ready, hearts full of resolve. The stars beckoned, mysteries awaited, and humanity's story was only beginning. Against the darkness, humans shone like a beacon, unyielding, fearless, unstoppable.